Alright, hey guys, how's it going? Chase here, and welcome back to another episode of Redstone for Dummies. And in the last episode, hold on a second, let me put that to normal. There you go. Why is this weird and jittery? I don't know. Anyways, in the last episode, we talked about number systems, and we talked about some number systems that you probably knew, like decimal. I mean, I hope you know decimal, because if not, then how have you been following this entire thing, because I've been teaching in decimal thus far. And then I taught octal. You don't really need to remember that, but it's just helpful to know octal, and same with quaternary, which is a base 4 number system. But then we talked about two number systems called binary and hexadecimal. Now I talked about how binary was the most useful because it could be represented by, just like circuitry, it is a base 2. It can only be represented by zeros and ones, 0 being off on electrical circuit and 1 being on. So it's perfect for representing electrical circuitry. So now you may remember the earlier episodes where I did a truth table on all of the logic gates, such as 0, 0, 0, or no, I did like 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, and then 1, 1, and then the output was dependent on what the logic gate did with those numbers. And yeah, so that might make a lot more sense now, because with the two inputs, if one was 0 and the other one was 1, it would do something. If one was 1 and the other one was 0, it would do something. So I also don't need to worry about this, but I don't have single player commands, so I can't get rid of it. Dang it. Darn you, new snapshot. I don't even know why I still have this new snapshot. But anyways, today what we're going to be talking about is clocks and decoders. Now, if I just need to go back over here, I don't know why I took the long way. Anyways, a clock is basically, it's a good component for a lot of systems, because computers need at least one clock to run their systems, and the computer that we're going to be building later on will need a clock. And we're not going to be building that computer hopefully for a little while, so I can get some design layouts and stuff done by then and stuff, but we will definitely be building a computer still. Really? Hold on. I have to... Wow. Apparently signs have two ways that they can be angled. They can be slightly angled, or they can be straight up 90 degree or 45 degree angled. That's interesting. Huh. That's cool. Anyways, clocks are very useful because just like, it's not like the actual house clock. A clock is a system that sends out pulses continually, and you could easily build one of these with what is known as a buffer, and that's basically what a repeater is. It's a buffer. Now in the real world, if you were to attach it up like this, the buffer automatically, it doesn't automatically actually, but and you would hook it up like this, and you were to quickly give it power and take it away, it would work. But because the buffer on this is too fast of a delay, you actually have to set a specific delay and add a second buffer, which I'm just going to start referring to them as repeaters. It's just the easy way. And I'm going to like make this 1 tick and 1 tick right there, or 2 ticks and 2 ticks, and we're just going to quickly do this. Place down the torch and pick it up, and it's going to send a quick pulse through it, and it's going to clock it. So now and you may be noticing it just switching between the two outputs, but if you just take this single output right here and look at it alone, you'll say, okay, it's turning on and off very quickly. How useful could this be? Well, it's actually very useful, because if you have a system that you want to run automatically, in which case a computer, every time you push the power button, it runs a clock on a computer. So that's always very helpful. All computers run clocks, at least one clock. And overclocking your CPU is literally taking this clock that I just built. If you've ever heard of overclocking, it's a form of increasing your computer's performance. Overclocking is literally taking your clock and speeding it up so that it's a faster clock, and it runs at a faster clock speed. So it's completing more operations every time it does a revolution. So that's clocks, just a quick simple update. But next thing I'm going to be talking about in this episode is decoders. And what a decoder is it's a way to... there's decoders and encoders. There are ways of transferring binary and other number systems into different number systems, and different number systems back into these other number systems. And primarily we're going to be decoding and encoding hexadecimal into binary, binary into hexadecimal, which is two totally different systems. One's decoding and one's encoding. Decoding is taking binary and putting it into hexadecimal. Encoding is taking It's the other way around. Okay. Decoding is taking hexadecimal and putting it into binary. Encoding is taking binary and putting it into hexadecimal. And the same with decimal, because we're also going to be using decimal on this. So, yeah. I'm going to build a really quick encoder right here. And I'll show you how it works. So, let's just say that encoding, we're going to be taking decimal and putting it into binary. That seems pretty straightforward. I probably should have built this before, but, you know, oh well. It gives me something to do while I talk. So we will be having 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll have 5 on the encoder. It doesn't need to be that big. It doesn't need to be a full encoder. Now this is a basic design for a common encoder. You're going to make it like one block on the ground, and then you're going to go up one, and you're going to place torches on here. Kind of going to be like a vertical inverter. And then redstone right here. And normally, this is where your decimal input would come in. But we're just going to be putting levers on here because we don't need a full decimal input from any system. So this is we're going to be using our own input for this. And then you're going to run a redstone line all along the top. Let me just set the time. Aha, I'm prepared this time. I had it set, preset on my system, so I didn't have to type it in. And then you're just gonna take this right here and connect all them wires up. Sorry. And just for convenience sake, I'm gonna label these. So this is gonna be the decimal interpretation of 0, decimal interpretation of 1, decimal interpretation of 2, 3, and 4. So these are just the regular numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 that you'd see every day. 4 does mean that you have 4 sheep, and it's okay. So yeah. So right here we're gonna have, what we're gonna do is, oh, I also forgot to mention that you need to take redstone and run it underneath these, which is gonna be a pain in the butt to do. So I hate doing this. Gotta get in between the encoder. And then you're going to place them one apart, and you're going to make 4 lines. And these 4 lines are, you can make them as many lines as you want, but it's generally 4 lines because people generally work with 4-bit numbers. And that's basically what this is going to be. It's transferring a decimal number, which we're not going to go all the way up to 10, 11, 12, or anything like that. It's just going to be up to 5. You can do as many decimal and as many binary conversions as you want. You can transfer a complete decimal number like 523 into a 8-bit binary number if you wanted to, if you felt it necessary. Make sure none of the wires are touching when you're building this, by the way. And once you've put redstone all across the top, make sure it does cover all across the top. You're basically just going to put a torch on each line that makes the binary conversion. For example, for 0, binary is literally for 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, so you don't do anything. As for 1, binary for 1 is 0, 0, 0, 1. So you're just going to place a torch right there. And what that's going to do is when this light turns on, it's only going to turn off this redstone line right here, which is allowing this torch right here to turn on, which is allowing the 0001 line to turn on. Pretty simple. And then for decimal 2 in binary, it's 0010, so you're going to place a torch on the 0010. Everywhere there's a 1, you're going to place a torch. And then 0011 is 3, and 0100 is 4. So now anytime we turn on the 1, and only the 1, if you put on multiple inputs, it will not work. It will not add them together or anything. It's just a simple encoder. It'll just turn on the 1 line there. This one right here isn't connected to any torches, so it's not going to turn on any line. 0010 is the 2 line. 0011 right here is turning on 2 torches right here because it turns those on. And 0100, like that. That's a pretty simple encoder. And now I'm going to be talking about decoders, and this one I probably should have built, because this is going to be, I'll build it using 2-bit binary numbers. This one's going to be a little tricky. You guys are just going to have to follow along while I build this, because I'm probably not going to be doing a lot of talking, whole lot of talking. And to increase the size of this, you literally just stack more over and make sure they're all one apart. So this is the gist of it right here. you've got your signal coming in right here, your two binary numbers coming in right here, and then you're going to place on the side and on the side, you're going to place torches on all the sides, like this, and then place a block on top of those torches. And then you have to place, and then what you're going to do is you're going to take your binary number and you're going to say, okay, so for 0, 0, we don't need anything right here. This can stay exactly the way it is. So if a 0 is in the place of the binary number, you're just going to place a torch right here and a block on top. If I can just get up there. There we go. Nope, not quite. And on top, you're going to put a straight line. Probably should mention that as well. And put a block on the corner like that. And just do the exact same everywhere right here. Make sure you get rid of that block right there. And then put a block on the corner right there. Put 2 blocks here. Make sure you break the middle block. And put a block on the corner like that. And then put redstone all along it. And basically what a decoder does is you're going to want to, this is the basic design for a Minecraft decoder, but basically what a decoder does is it takes binary and puts it into decimal. So if you want 0, 0, that's just going to be, if you put a torch on the side, that's a 0, 0. And if you want a 1 there, you're going to break this top torch right here, which there should always be that top torch by default. Oops, don't put that there, like that. That didn't work, did it? Oh, yes it did. Okay. So there should always be that top torch, and if you want a 1 to be there, for example, like 0, 1 in binary is 1, so the next one right here is going to have a 1, and then 1, 0 in binary is like this, so you're going to put a 1 and a 0. So now, anytime, well, that, oh, okay, that's why. And then you're going to come in here, place inverters on the side right here, and place redstone right here where your output's going to be. So now, because 0, 0 is on by default, this line right here, which is our 0, 0, is on. If we put in a 0, 1, it's going to power through here, turn this off, turn this torch off right here, which was initially powering this redstone right here, as you can see. So it's now going to turn on the 1 line, and then if you put in a 2, it's going to turn on the 2 line, but we didn't program for a 3, so it's just going to turn them all off. So that's kind of like cool, I guess, I don't know. Anyways, that's basically encoders and decoders. I just wanted to kind of pronounce those, and clocks as well. I just kind of want to pronounce those done because I realized I hadn't done those. And this is probably a fairly long episode. I don't know. I can't see my timer right now. But anyways, that's going to be it for this episode, guys. So thanks for watching. Have a nice day.